What is going on, everyone? Hope all of you are doing well. So, I'm going to be reviewing the Santa Claus 3 or the Santa Claus Escape Clause, whatever you want to call it. So, Scott Calvin, another year as Santa. He is now married. Mrs. Claus is pregnant with their first child, and they have the in laws coming. And the in laws are not aware that he is Santa. They believe that he is a toy maker that works in Canada. So while all this is going on, he has a meeting with some of the other, you know, um, mystical figures like Father Time, Mother Nature, um, Sandman, the Tooth Fairy. We do get the introduction to Cupid as well as Jack Frost. Now, Jack Frost is, of course, played by Martin Short, who's kind of a little sinister in this film. He's pretty much the villain of the film, and our recurring characters, Charlie, Neil, Laura, Lucy, they all return, and they're actually, I believe, at the North Pole helping Scott. And, you know, um, Jack Frost comes up with this idea to take over as Santa. So what ends up happening is he ends up using a pen that records Scott stating that he wish he was, never Santa because he is dealing with some stress and he feels at times, he wish he wasn't Santa. So Jack Frost uses it to his advantage. He ends up freezing Lucy's parents and uses a snow globe and the recorded voice of Scott to basically manipulate, and they go back in time to the time that Scott put on the Santa outfit. So they reuse old footage of the first film, and of course, Jack Frost puts on the coat and becomes Santa. So we live in this alternate universe or alternate reality of if Scott never put on the Santa outfit. And because of this, what ends up happening is his relationship with Charlie goes sour. Charlie doesn't really want nothing to do with him. The relationship between Laura and Neil isn't all that great. Same with, Laura and Scott. And basically, Jack Frost has turned Santa into this public figure, allowing people to come to the North Pole and just causing the elves to be miserable. He's pretty much commercialized, Santa. And Scott has to do what he can in order to get back to being Santa. And also we do get the introduction to the Easter Bunny. I may have said that in the last review for the second film, but it's actually, I believe, this film that we get to see the character. But yeah, it's interesting because we get to see what the events would have been like if he had never put on the Santa outfit. And actually, Scott becoming Santa was actually good for him, and his life would have been completely different. So in a better way, having Santa fall and him putting on the suit actually benefited him in the long run. And you do see that. You do see the appreciation, when things start to get better. But it's just, I always thought that was interesting, to say the least, that we get to see this what if scenario. Martin Short, I will say, I think is fantastic as Jack Frost. I really wish they would have done like some type of spin-off with the character that would lead up to the events of the third movie, like before the third movie would happen. We get like a spin-off film of that character, because Martin Short, I think, is fantastic. A lot of his films, I feel like, are very underrated. There's so many great films he's done. So I thought his portrayal as Jack Frost was great. I like the fact that everybody was brought back. See, this is a trilogy that a lot of films could have taken the formula of. You're getting everybody from the first to do the second and the third, and I like that. You don't have to worry about recasting. You're able to get everybody, and I really like that. Now, the only downfall I have is a lot of the other actors didn't have a lot of camera time compared to like the other two films. So I don't know what was going on behind the scenes. Of course, they do have the characters that they're playing in the alternate scenario, but I just felt like the second film and the first film, a lot of these characters were having more screen time. The actors were having more screen time compared to this. That's my only minor complaint, and it is the weakest, you can tell to some extent on this. But nonetheless, I think it's still a decent film, and it's still decent yeah, or not decent, but it's still worth checking out. And yeah, I wish I could say more about this film. I think by now all of you have seen this movie, but all in all, as a whole, I think the Santa Claus films are just fun, and fantastic films. They keep everything in its continuity. They bring everybody back, which I do like. To some extent, there are some actors who play the elves that didn't return, and that makes sense. They're doing other projects. Excuse me. But for the most, they were able to bring everybody back, and I feel like the Santa Claus did the trilogy did the right thing when it comes to the formula, and not only that, but as well as the TV series. So maybe we'll get a fourth movie. I don't know. It's been rumored. I would like to see a fourth movie, in some way. Who knows how they would do that? But nonetheless, thank you guys so much for tuning in to my review and my thoughts on the Santa Claus 3, the Escape Clause. Or the Santa Claus, the Escape Clause. I'm not sure how they, exactly what the title is, but I hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know what your thoughts are on this movie down in the description below. I would love to hear your opinion, and don't forget to give this video a like if you enjoyed it and subscribe to the channel. It's much appreciated. If you guys want to check out my older videos and comment on those, you can. It actually helps me out and helps increase my watch hours since I am trying to reach the goal of getting monetized. I'm Film Talk with Mikey, and until next time, guys, we'll talk films. You guys have a good one. Take care, and I will see you guys next time.